In this video, I will show you how to use QEMU KVM GPU Passthrough in Linux using VFIO. This method allows you to dedicate a physical GPU to your virtual machine, providing near-native GPU performance within the virtualized environment. This could be extremely useful for gaming or running GPU-intensive applications in a virtual machine. Before we start with this video, verify that your hardware meets the requirements for GPU Passthrough. A multi-core CPU with virtualization support such as Intel VT-X or AMD-V. Your computer must have two GPUs, one for the host, another for the virtual machine. If your computer or laptop runs Linux with multiple GPUs, you can allocate the one GPU for a Windows virtual machine to play Windows games. Now, as you can see, I'm using my gaming laptop running Ubuntu Linux, which has two GPUs, an integrated GPU for the default monitor, and a dedicated NVIDIA graphics card. Our goal is to pass this NVIDIA GPU through a Windows 10 virtual machine using VFIO driver. Now, VFIO stands for Virtual Function I/O, which exposes direct device access to user space in a secure, memory-protected environment. In simple terms, the VFIO driver isolates the PCI devices accessible to virtual machines. To begin, we need to identify the PCI ID for the NVIDIA GPU. Open the terminal and enter this command. Look for the PCI ID assigned to the NVIDIA GPU by your computer, which will appear after the GPU's name within the square brackets. In my case, this is the one. Copy both the NVIDIA VGA controller and NVIDIA audio device PCI IDs and paste them into a text editor separated by a comma like this. Next, we need to enable the IOMMU feature. To do so, open the grub configuration file and modify a kernel argument. Locate this line and remove any existing arguments like quiet and splash. Inside the double quotes, type AMD_IOMMU is equals to on if you have an AMD CPU. Replace AMD with Intel if you have an Intel CPU. Then add another argument, IOMMU is equals to PT, which stands for pass-through, followed by VFIO-PCI.IDs equals to, and paste the PCI IDs you copied. Each ID must be separated by a comma. Save the changes by pressing Ctrl+O and exit by pressing Ctrl+X. Now update the grub bootloader configuration by entering this command. Once it's done, reboot your computer. Now it's time to isolate the NVIDIA GPU from being accessed by the host OS kernel. Open the terminal and create a VFIO configuration file using this command. Then run this command to make changes to the configuration. Type options space VFIO-PCI space IDs and paste the PCI IDs you want to isolate. Finally, add a line to disable the install NVIDIA proprietary graphic card drivers from loading during the boot. Save the changes with Ctrl+O and exit with Ctrl+X. Now type this command to update init RAM-fs. Make sure there are no errors. That's it, we have successfully isolated NVIDIA GPU from host OS access. Reboot your computer to effect these changes. To verify the isolation of the GPU, type this command and you may see VFIO-PCI for NVIDIA GPU and audio device. Now notice that the host OS uses the iGPU for graphics. Now with this, the NVIDIA GPU is ready to be passed through to the Windows 10 virtual machine. Now let's proceed to pass the GPU to the Windows 10 virtual machine. Now as you can see, I have already set up a Windows 10 VM. Now make sure the chipset type is Q35 and the firmware must be UEFI. If you're unsure how to install Windows 10 using QEMU or KVM on Linux, check the dedicated video link in the description. Before adding the GPU to this virtual machine, download the virt-IO Windows drivers from your browser. I'm downloading the stable ISO. Once downloaded, go back to the Windows 10 virtual machine settings. Select the CD-ROM, browse and import virt-IO drivers. Then click Add Hardware and select PCI host device. Locate the NVIDIA GPU and NVIDIA audio among available PCI devices and add both to the VM. Now click Run to start the virtual machine. Please remember that the NVIDIA GPU won't be detected until we install virt-IO and NVIDIA drivers on the Windows virtual machine. To install the GPU drivers in the VM, open My Computer, locate the mounted ISO and install virt-IO drivers. After installation, reboot the Windows virtual machine. Then open your browser and head over to the NVIDIA website, download the compatible drivers and install them. Once installed, you will notice that the VM displays the NVIDIA graphic card within the device manager. You can adjust the VM screen resolution in the settings. If your mouse cursor stops working, press Windows+E to open File Explorer using your keyboard. Now use the Tab key and arrow keys to navigate through the UI elements. Go to the mounted CD drive and uninstall this driver. Once it's done, reboot your computer and your mouse cursor should function properly. Now to test GPU pass-through, I have installed Steam games on the Windows 10 virtual machine. You should notice near-native GPU-based gaming performance. And that's pretty much it. This is how you can use QEMU or KVM GPU pass-through in Linux using VFIO driver. If you have any queries, feel free to post them in the comment section below and I will do my best to help you. Don't forget to check the video description for more information. Thanks for watching my video. This is been KSKRL. I will see you in the next one.